Have you guys heard of a show called Top Gear? Who am I kidding? Of course you have. But did you know that back in summer 2012, there had been a release of several 143 scale diecast cars related to the TV show? You can see here that the first wave consisted of these 5 cars, and I assume they were planning to continue the series as the show went on. Because they did make a second series featuring 5 more cars. And some of these included some really unique and high-quality castings, like that of the SLR McLaren, which looks way better than the crap you can find for a couple of bucks from Ixo, Altaia, De Agostini, or whatever collection it was part of. I don't think they released a third wave, but I have also seen this Porsche Carrera GT associated with the Top Gear series, although I don't know what wave it belongs to. Today, their prices have, as you might have guessed, appreciated. Not just because of the Top Gear branding, but because these model cars also came with a very special figure. Some say that he has shrunk himself down to 143 scale, and that he wants to co-star from now on for Imperial Diecast. All we know is he's called a Stig, and this is the Lexus LFA. So this is a cool packaging, let me tell you that. It's wider than the usual 143 display boxes. You've got the Top Gear Power Laps branding above, the BBC logo down there, a close-up of the Stig over here, and now let's unbox it. For some reason, no diecast budget manufacturer ever made the Lexus LFA in 118, or even 124. However, Minichamps made this one in 143. Back in the good old days when they were making fully opening 118s and all kinds of cars in 143, and this one is the Top Gear edition that comes with the Stig. And you can see it's a limited edition of 2012 pieces. Now what I like is that behind the car, you have a segment of Top Gear's lap times board with the LFA's time on the Top Gear test track shown to be 1 minute 22.8 seconds on the wet track. Still making it faster than the Porsche Boxster Spyder, but slower than the Lamborghini Murcielago LP640. Which makes sense because this does not have 640 horsepower. If there ever was a chubby, plus-sized supercar, the Lexus LFA would be it. To me, this is a soapbox on wheels, with a few styling cues to make it look less like a box. But you can't get around the fact that it is a box. But despite all that, it is an original design that 15 years after release still remains unique and instantly recognizable wherever it drives. This was an expensive supercar, costing almost $400,000 way back in 2011, and today it costs $1 million. Lexus is Toyota's luxury division, and they're a company otherwise mostly known for their sedans. And unlike Toyota, Lexus had never built a supercar before. But they decided to try their hand by creating the LFA. L for Lexus, F for Fuji Speedway, and A for Apex. a two-seat front-engine supercar that was unveiled in various concept forms throughout the 2000s, while the final version went into production in late 2010. And honestly, they created a piece of automotive history with this one. Lexus made 500 LFAs, and production ended in 2012. I managed to find this on eBay back in September 2020 for €20, which is crazy low. And it's actually because I got it together with another Minichamps that I was searching for, a 143 Bentley Arnage, for which I paid $30, so $50 in total before shipping, from a guy who clearly didn't know what he was letting go of. So taking a look at the front of Minichamps' 143 scale Lexus LFA, you can see that the production version of the LFA, especially with these like triangular headlights, doesn't look as good and awesome as the concept version, which you can see a picture of here. In fact, I would have preferred if they had gone with the headlights of the concept version, because they're so intricate looking. But the production version still looks unique. I mean, you've got a Lexus badge here in the middle, and this is an actual 3D badge, and not just a sticker or printed on, so that's really nice. Above it, there is just a little, what looks like a panel gap, but is actually on the real car, a front air intake, a really narrow one. Below it, we have the LFA license plate, and of course you have further air intakes down on all sides of the license plate. Headlight detail is probably one of the downsides of this particular 143 model. I mean, they could have put a bit more effort here, but at least it doesn't have any pegs, so there's that. We got 2 air vents on the hood. And check out these mirrors. They're shaped in such a way that they don't obstruct airflow into the side air intakes, which I think is really cool. And speaking of scoops, there's also another one down there, so Minichamps modeled all of these correctly. And of course you have the gas cap over here. Under the hood is a 4.8-liter V10 engine they created with the help of Yamaha, producing 553 horsepower, capable of reaching a top speed of 326 kph and 0 to 100 within 3.7 seconds. And here's a look at the side of the 143 scale Lexus LFA. I actually like the design. I mean, it may look quite flat, but there's still like enough design cues to give it some sense of aerodynamics. We've got the F badging up here, separate orange indicators. The car also comes with brake discs and calipers, and as you can see, the calipers stay in place when you move the wheels. Although I don't think that the brake discs move, it's kind of hard to tell because they don't have a lot of texture on them. But if we take a closer look at the wheels, you can see they have the Lexus logo in the center, surrounded by 5 lug nuts. The alloys are titanium colored, probably 19-inch, and they just look great. And taking a look at the back of the 143 scale Lexus LFA by Minichamps, the back is also done pretty nicely. I mean, we have the LFA logo right underneath the trunk lid. It is slightly 3-dimensional, so that's nice. And underneath it, we have the LFA license plate. And perhaps more importantly, we have this very unique triple exhaust shaped like a triangle that the LFA is known for. And unfortunately, I feel like that the ratio of the size of the exhaust pipes to like the rest of the panel is too small. On the real Lexus LFA, these are a little wider. Like the diameter of each pipe is a bit bigger. So here they're a bit too small, but otherwise I still like the fact that, they're painted and everything. And they're surrounded by a grille on both sides, and there are reverse lights that are painted in silver here. Minichamps also did a fairly decent job with the tail lights because they don't have any pegs and they have some textures in them. And underneath them we have, of course, the big rear grills that this car is known for. So overall it looks nice. This whole panel here is the rear spoiler that lifts up as the car picks up speed. And now let's check out the interior of the Lexus LFA. The Lexus LFA is known for its very broad center stack, and Minichamps made sure to replicate that even on this small 143 scale model. Now, unfortunately, I can't really focus it more and get even closer, but as you can see, it does have a lot of details on it, including buttons and everything, although they're not labeled. It's also painted in silver. And up there's also an air vent. But apart from that, there's really not much else to see in here because the interior is black, so you can't see much else. I'm taking a look at the driver's side of the Lexus LFA. You can see that even here on the driver's side, we get another angle on the center stack. I believe there's even a little map there, like a GPS, but hard to tell. The steering wheel is hard to see, so I'm going to turn on my flash. You can see under the flash that the car does have an instrument panel, so that's nice. Let's see if I can get this to focus even more. Yeah, about that's as much as I can. It does have the LCD screen as well. And the steering wheel is barely visible, but it's there. I think it even has an LFA logo, like a Lexus logo. And some silver, but there's really not much else you can see because it's so dark. But taking a look at the bottom of the car, the bottom is actually quite interesting because it has all the silver parts here. It says 143 and a bronze colored drivetrain leading all the way up to the exhausts. Here, if I can get this to focus, it says Paul's Model Art, Minichamps, Lexus LFA. And the tire tread is also pretty good. I really think that the reason why the LFA went somewhat under the radar is because another similarly bulky looking car from Japan stole all its thunder, because it hadn't remained as long in development hell as the LFA had, and had come out a few years earlier. You probably know which one I'm talking about. The R35 Godzilla, the Nissan GTR, which Nissan basically kept updating year after year by the thousands, while there were only ever 450 LFAs, and I guess 50 Nürburgring editions where the difference was just 10 horsepower, but better track performance. Now there's people out there who also say that another part of the reason why the LFA didn't succeed was also because it came out under the wrong brand. They say this should have been the next Supra, the one to succeed the A80. And if it had, in all likelihood it would have cancelled the GR Supra that didn't come out until 2019, and is, if I may say so, an inferior car compared to the LFA, in the sense that it's in a completely different class. It's a sports car, not a supercar. It's got a 2-liter engine with around 350 horsepower for the top-of-the-line version, and not the 500 plus that defines a modern supercar. But that's also what the A80 was, not a supercar. So people saying the LFA should have been the A80's successor don't know what they're talking about and are comparing apples to oranges. Anyhow, I'm happy that I have an LFA in my collection, and in this beautifully iconic white color to boot. So I hope you guys enjoyed the review of this 143 scale Minichamps Lexus LFA, Top Gear edition with the Stig figure. And I think he's going to stick around for more 143 scale reviews in the future, so if you want to watch some that I've already made, you can feel free to check them out over here. And as always, guys, take care, have a wonderful day, and this is Imperial Diecast, signing out.